Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of HBCU Game Day Conversations. It's a little different because if you look around, I'm just like sitting on a couch up against the wall because my family has kicked me out of the studio today. First time that's ever happened, but it's all good because I'm comfortable here on the couch, and I'm comfortable because I'm talking to an old friend who has something very exciting to talk about. So it's not about me, it's about her. So let's bring her into the conversation. Alonda Calloway, where do we start? She's a Winston-Salem State alum. She's a former Ram cheerleader, a former cheerleader for the Washington football club team, whatever.
The Washington football team.
Whatever's going on with that now. A well-known journalist, especially for people in North Carolina. Alonda, thanks for joining us today. A dear friend, someone I've looked up to for a very long time. And I was so excited to see what you have going on right now. And I want you to tell everybody about your latest project that they should definitely know about.
Tolly, thank you so much for having me. When you asked me if I wanted to do an interview, I thought, do I want to do an interview? Of course I want to do an interview. It's HBCU Game Day.
Oh, I forgot. Also, an HBCU Game Day correspondent in years gone by.
We have worked together, you on the camera and me in front of the camera, holding the HBCU Game Day mic. So of course I wanted to do an interview. I'm so proud of you and Stephen and the whole crew and everything you all have created. So thank you for having me on your platform.
Absolutely. So you have written a book.
I have, and it's called Tips from the TV Lady. That's me, the TV lady. So you know, Tolly, how it is when you're out in public. A lot of times people don't remember your name. And so it's like, hey, there's a TV lady. That's what I would always get. Or, hey, aren't you the TV lady? Or lady tapping her sister on the shoulder. Hey, it's the TV lady.
Yes, I have been to that rodeo a few times. I get it.
That is where the title comes from. And it's basically a compilation of a lot of things I've learned in my 20 plus year career in front of a TV camera. Tolly, as you know, there's all kinds of hoops we jump through as on-air personalities to make sure that we represent well and look our best. A lot of these things can be applied to everyday people who don't work in television, and they need to be applied because the impetus for writing this book was being home during the coronavirus shutdown. So starting in March, when everybody was sent home, I consumed a lot of media. I wanted to know what was going on in China, what's going on in Italy, what's going on in the United States. And so I'm watching TV constantly. I'm on social media constantly because on social media, I'm getting the flip side. I'm getting my soul fed. I'm getting exercise classes and DJ battles and people selling stuff. So I'm on these two mediums or two types of mediums all the time. And I start to notice a recurring theme. A lot of people have no idea what they're doing when it comes to presentation. They may have a great product to sell, or they may have some great words of wisdom to share, but the packaging needed a little help. And so I'm trying to be kind. So Randall said to me, why don't you do something about it, TV lady? And I thought, yeah, I could, but I don't know. And then I got a second nudge, and this one came out of the blue from my former producer and boss, Kim Green. She and I worked together at WNCM, My Carolina Today. And her text came out of the blue, and it read, you should really do a tutorial for Black women doing YouTube videos. I'm seeing so many lighting mistakes. And I thought, okay, that's similar to what Randall said. Then I got a third nudge, and that was from two of my sorors, Sharon and Shanta, who said, you know, I'm seeing all these people on TV who aren't used to being on TV. You need to help them out. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. I hear the universe speaking to me. So that's how Tips from the TV Lady came about.
So this had to be very easy for you to put together because I would imagine you look at content much the same way that I do. Like, I can't even get past what people are saying. I'm like, oh, look at that shadow on their face, or, you know, where's their microphone? Like, why is that window in your background with the curtains up? Like, no, like.
Yes. You're talking my language, Tolly.
All
All of
I would
it
imagine,
is.
did it all just come right, just right off your chest, right off your head, or was it
And
a process?
I wrote this book so fast. And it was because it was all here. Of course, I had to have it professionally edited to make it all make sense and flow correctly. But the meat of it, Tolly, I wrote it so quickly because it was, like I said, all in my brain. I've been seeing these things, like you said, shadows and windows and just all these mistakes. And at the heart of it, I want to help people win. If you are selling something, you're an entrepreneur, you can't have all these distractions going on because they're not looking at your product. Mm-hmm. If you are doing an interview over Skype, which a lot of companies are doing it that way now, you don't want the hiring manager to be distracted by your shiny forehead and not listening to what you have to say. So this is all about helping people win, sharing the things that I know that you may think doesn't matter. It does matter. This is not a book about vanity. It's a book about cutting out distractions so that you can let your best self come through and get that job or sell that product or do whatever it is you're trying to do virtually. And these tips also work in the real world, face to face.
The one thing I've noticed about people over the years, Alonda, is they don't necessarily know how the sausage is made when it comes to, visual presentation and cameras and lights and action and the whole nine. But they know when something is wrong when they see it.
Right. Like I can't sing a lick, but I know a good singer when I hear one. And I know a singer that's not so great when I hear that either. I can't do it, so I would never go critique a singer, but I know what sounds good and I know what doesn't sound good. And so, yes, people know, like you said, they don't have to know how the sausage is made to know that what they're seeing isn't quite right. And it could be better because we lose credibility when the presentation isn't right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You cannot sing, but you're one hell of a dancer. We all.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And you know what? Lessons I learned from coming up, taking dance classes, doing pageants as a teenager. Those are things that I share in the book too.
Oh, sounds good. Who should be out besides everybody? Who should be out buying your book right now?
Anybody who is in front of people who needs to make a great presentation, period. So that could be, like I said, if you're an entrepreneur and you're selling something on Facebook Live or you're selling something on YouTube, you need this book. If you lead a big department at your company and you all are doing presentations all the time because a lot of work has gone virtually, your entire department needs this book. If you are preparing for a big job interview or preparing to make a move in your company and you want to make a good impression, you need this book. And like I said, almost all of these tips apply in the real world face to face. So whether you're communicating virtually or communicating, out in the street, the same rules apply. So I can't think of anyone who doesn't need this book.
And it sounds like it's presented pretty simply, very straightforward. Like you're not getting like uber technical here, are you?
Oh, absolutely not, Tolly. It is 10 chapters. It's very digestible. It's an easy read. You can read it in a day. You can read it in a few hours, actually. And it is so digestible. I show you what I'm trying to get across in terms of tips, but I give you practical stories. And I pick on myself a lot. I'll give you one free tip right now. So the first story I tell in the book, and I love, as you know, story is how we connect when we're writing. The first story I tell about the book is how much I love Brown, or how much I used to love Brown. When Randall, my husband, and I were dating 20 some years ago, he picked on me all the time because I wore so much brown. I wore brown lipstick, brown eyeshadow, brown clothing, brown accessories. My decor in my house was brown and tan and black. I loved animal print. It was just like a jungle in my condo. And when we took our engagement picture, I wore brown. And now I look back at it and I think, what was I thinking? I was lost in a sea of brown. Brown skin, brown hair, brown eyes, lost in a sea of brown. So one of the tips I share with you is don't do that. Don't wear colors like that. Wear bold colors like this. You don't want to be lost. You want to jump off the screen. Everybody has HD TV now. Everybody has amazing laptops. Everybody has amazing phones. I mean, the iPhone 12 is about to hit the stores. Everything jumps off the screen. And if you don't jump off the screen, you're getting lost. So one of the things I talk about is the colors to wear and the colors to avoid.
Yeah, sounds like me wearing a all khaki suit. Like that probably wouldn't go over.
Would not work.
I think I've made those mistakes a time or two in my life as well.
Yes, I made them. And I tell you, like I said, I pick on myself and I continue to make mistakes. My daughter checked me on my makeup. My daughter's 12, but she watches enough YouTube tutorials to know what good makeup is and what bad makeup is. And a few months ago, she checked me, and I tell that story in the book.
Yeah, and there is a difference between, not to give everything away, but there is a difference between what you look like to someone's eye and what you look like on camera. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio.
You are absolutely right, Tolly. And like I said, this is not a book about vanity. It's a book about cutting down distractions. Because if you have under eye circles and people are staring at your under eye circles, that means they're not listening to what you have to say. They're not hearing the details.
Let me check my Zoom.
But they're not hearing the details of what you're trying to share. And we do this, Tolly. We don't like to admit it, but we do it. We pick people apart. And it's not that we're trying to be mean or ugly. It's subconscious sometimes. We don't even realize we're doing it.
It's the price of admission to the internet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is what it is. Yeah. And it's been this way for a long time. This didn't happen in 2020.
No.
I'm sure consultants told you back in the day when you worked in TV, the same thing that I'm sharing now. But because our world is so virtual, a lot of the things we learned as TV people, the general public needs to know as well.
Yes. And men do wear makeup, and it doesn't mean anything at all.
Yes, Tolly. One of the chapters of the book is everybody needs makeup.
I can co-sign. Fellas, it's all right. They might look at you a little funny at the Mac counter, but it'll be fine. I've been there.
And you know what? They won't look at you funny at the Mac counter. They know. They know. Guys, get over it. I'm not saying you need to wear makeup to the gym or you need to wear makeup to run to Target. No, I'm talking about when you are in front of a camera or in front of people and you're trying to present your best self. If you've got darkness from here to here, you've got the shadow, you've got eyebrows all over the place. No, it is nothing wrong with grooming yourself and wearing makeup. And I talk with an expert who shares what she does for her male clients.
I must say, in the YouTube era, I've fallen back on the makeup. I'm probably shining like right here, but
speaking of Sean, Tolly, I got something for you.
I'll take. Hey, look, my favorite thing in the world. I always had to have them. Were the what are the little things? They're like rice paper. Where they?
Yes, that's what this is, Tolly.
Oh, lifesavers.
I have my own line of blotting sheets.
Blotting sheets. There you go.
Yes,
there you go.
Yes. And this is how they work. You know, you just take one out, you press it to the oily part of your face, hold it there, and you pull it off, and it removes the shine without removing your makeup. So these are great for men. You should have a TV lady blotting sheet in your wallet, in your car, or wherever you're going to be.
Okay, I'm going to order those. How can I get the book? How can I get the blotting sheet? Because blotting sheets are from heaven.
AlondaCalloway.com.
Simple.
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 You know what, Tolly? Even simpler, tvlady.tv.
Okay.
So either one will get you to my website, thetvlady.tv, pardon me. But I'm selling the book, the hard or the paperback copy on my website, as well as the blotting sheets on my website. And in addition, of course, Amazon.com.
Okay. Awesome. So all that information is on the screen. Make sure you check it out. Make sure, how can people follow you? Because I know you probably will dabble and give people a little information as you go along online. How can people follow you on social?
Thank you for asking, Tolly. On Instagram and Twitter, ValCalTV. Once again, ValCalTV. And on Facebook, Alonda Calloway on TV.
Okay, awesome. Well,
and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is Alonda Calloway.
Yeah, that's where the grown-ups hang out.
Yeah, that's where the grown-ups hang out. So I'm there.
Alonda, thanks so much for joining us today. We're going to get the book, we're going to get the blotting sheets, and much success. And there's a lot to be learned there, and hopefully people will take heed.
Tolly, thank you so much. I really appreciate you and HBCU Game Day.